All right, welcome to episode 2 of starting an agency from scratch. Last episode, we created a one pager. If you haven't watched that, I would highly recommend watching that before this video. We essentially broke down everything that our offer is gonna, like the skeleton of our offer, who we're gonna work with, what's the price point, what are the deliverables, what is the solution that we're bringing to our market. So this document will come extremely in handy when creating all of our sales marketing material, whether it's the email, the SMS follow-ups, the sales presentation, and yeah, the ads, of course. That's going to be extremely important. So we'll be 100% able to leverage all this information that we did last episode. So today we're going to go over the service delivery. This video shouldn't be long. It shouldn't be as long as yesterday. Since we're just mapping out the service delivery, and I have it's not a unique way of doing it, but it's my way of doing it. So instead of trying to build everything internally and trying to hire 20 people to create like an agency, I will use more leveraged ways to build this out instead of me trying to figure everything out by myself and spending months and months trying to learn a skill that at the end of the day will end up being outsourced. So how are we going to go about offering the service that we're going to sell to people? So again, we're helping our clients generate an extra 20 to 50K a month. I want to break everything down here in a Miro chart. This is not going to be like a sales presentation that I'm going to do for my clients. This is just for me to just map up my ideas and have like a general idea of like what we're going to do for our clients. It's not necessary. You don't really have to do this step. It's just for me. I've always found it to just give me a bit more clarity when I map everything out and write it out. And when I start writing everything out, typically that's when I come up with new ideas or things that I've missed before in the past. So we're working with clients, window installation companies. We're trying to add them more revenue and make them more money. Okay, so what is the problem that we're fixing for them? What is the service that we're going to offer? So they have their initial situation, and there's the end goal. Okay. And our objective with our service is to get them as close as possible from their initial situation all the way up to their end goal. So an example of an initial situation could be they're making 20K a month in MRR. Okay. So we work with a window install company. They're making 20K a month MRR and they're stuck. They don't know how to reach their end goal, which let's say their end goal is to become $1 million company. So that means they would have to make, let's just call it 80K a month, okay? In order to reach their goal of making $1 million a year. So what are the services? What exactly do we have to offer to help them get to this end goal of theirs? The mistake that I often see people is that they will offer one piece of the puzzle, which although it is a good piece, it does not help them complete the entire journey and help them get to their end goal. So they will offer lead generation, okay, which is running Facebook ads or Instagram ads or whatever platform you use. The issue with this is that once you start running ads for them, they will start getting leads. And for everyone who's run ads here before, you know that leads it doesn't mean anything if there's no one there to convert them into paying customers. And the issue that I often see is that people will put this responsibility on their clients. The same clients who have never ran ads before for their business, who are stuck at 20K a month, so obviously they have an issue with scaling and getting customers, and they're going to generate them appointments using their ad spend. And then from there, put that responsibility on people who have never done it themselves. And then they wonder why their clients churn and they're not able to close the deals, even though the lead quality is very high. Okay. So what can we do to fill this gap to make sure we get them to their end goal? So we kind of yesterday drew up the rough draft. We more or less know what we're going to be doing. So we're going to do lead generation. From there, we have to work the leads. Okay. So let's just do lead management. And then from there, lead management in our case, since we're working with a blue collar market, a home service offer, typically we're going to book an in-house appointment for our clients. So the lead clicks on the ad, they need their windows replaced. Someone calls the lead, asks them qualifying questions. So how old are your windows? How many windows you're looking to replace? If it fits the criteria of what our clients are looking for, from there, we will schedule an appointment where our client can drive to that person's house, give them a quote, and hopefully close the deal. And boom, that's how they made a sale and made money. So that's the buyer's journey. So from here, we need to make sure they're able to close deals. Okay. Technically, there would be service delivery on their end. So like having the capacity, like a team to be able to fulfill for 80K a month worth of jobs. But that's just so outside of our scope that I'm not even going to touch that. Okay. So I'm going to assume they already have the team, or they're capable of building a team that can handle this many amount of jobs. So this is exactly what we need to solve for them. So again, a mistake that I often see is people just offer this right here. Hey, we'll run your ads for you and we'll get you leads. And most of the time, 10% of the leads will convert to paying customers, blah, blah, blah. Which sounds nice, but still, if they never call the leads or if they do a really poor job, they're just going to lose so much money on ads. So might as well take care of it for them. Now, when it comes to lead generation, what are we going to do to help them with leads? So first off, we have to run meta ads. When it comes to meta ads, there's two things we can do. We can do video ads, and we can also do static ads. All right. From experience, video ads will work a lot better. They're harder to produce, but they do produce better results. So again, we want to get the best results as we can for our clients. So I'm going to focus on video ads, that's for sure. Probably still create a few static ads variation just for the sake of like testing, just in case. But typically video ads will be the go-to thing. Okay. Now, when it comes to actually building this whole out for our clients, once I close a deal, I will not be the one that's going to create the ads, test video ads, do the offer research and all of these things. What I'm going to opt to do, which not everyone will agree with me, but I will partner with a white label agency. Okay. I have clients of mine that their offer is this exactly. Okay. They are a white label agency. They're very good at running ads, and all they do is they just run the ads for other agency owners that need someone to do it, but don't have the team yet to do it. Which I think I'd rather just spend a bit more time like interviewing a few agencies, trying to see who has the better case studies, the most, like the best reputation, and go with that person rather than trying to hire a media buyer, a copywriter, a person that can onboard people, a person that knows go high level and all of these things. So I'm going to partner them and I'm going to pay them about, I did some research before this video. Typically you can find one for about $500 per account. Okay. Per account per month. All right. So for every client that I work with, I would pay them $500 a month, for them to just take care of this whole lead generation process for me. So this means they will do the market research, onboard a client on their Facebook Ads Manager, created these video and static ads, primarily focusing on video ads. And then from there, I don't really have to worry about managing this aspect of our service delivery. So all of this is basically outsourced to a team of experts. So I'm just going to color this in green just to say that we've completed this and this is a check mark. And at the end, I'm going to break down how much I'm paying everyone specifically and how many, like what's going to be my profit margin at the end, my gross profit margin. So before advertisement and salespeople and all of these things. So that is part one of us solving their issue. Okay. Lead generation. Now lead management. And here, important to specify, I put a box here. It would be best if we leveraged AI for them, okay? Because that is our offer, so we should do AI. So maybe we'll hire our agency and they don't want to use AI, ads and everything, and they just use static ads. If they work well, I don't see why our clients would have an issue with that, because I don't think using AI here is like the most, like they're not going to sign up with you because you're using AI. They'll sign up with you because you can make them more money. So at the end of the day, they don't really care how to do it, but ideally we would find an agency that leverages AI because it is part of our core offer and it would be appropriate. So ideally static ads, we do them manually. And then video ads, if we do want to do video ads where typically we would ask the client to be in front of the camera and speak, instead of doing that, we would just use AI ads, and we can use, I believe it's called ArcAds .ai or .io. And that I've tested a few softwares, and this is by far the best one to create ads using AI actors. Now, when it comes to lead management, same thing. We want to leverage AI, and this is probably going to be one of the trickiest parts. So in a traditional agency that's not an AI agency, I would hire a, let's call him a dialer. Okay? So someone to call the leads as soon as they opt in, qualify them, and then book them into our client's calendar. The issue with this, it's hard to find, hard to hire good talent for cheap prices. Okay, so you could find good talent pretty easily. You'll just have to pay them lots of money, and depending on the amount of ad spend that they're pushing and everything, this can get quite expensive if you're hiring someone from the States. Okay, like a closer basically. So ideally, we hire overseas, someone who has a good English accent that's able to have proper conversations, understands how to qualify the leads, so we'll have to train them, and then from there book the appointments. Okay, so it's hard to find good talent, plus time zone / working hours. The issue with this is if someone opts in at 9 p.m., this person cannot be on standby 24 hours a day. All right, so that's another big issue when it comes to these people. So typically you would have to hire, if I was just starting out, I'd probably just hire one during business hours. So they would work 8 to, see, like if people opt in at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., it would be nice to call them, but you cannot expect your dialer to work 24 hours a day. So you would need 2 dialers that work different shifts, or one that's a bit crazy that's willing to do it, or you just hire one during business hours. And if someone opts in off business hours, they would just call them the next day. So that's what you would do with a typical sort of agency that's not leveraging AI. Now, we can leverage tools like, sorry, I had to cut the video because it was logging in into the wrong page, but tools like this, SendFlow, I've tested them myself. I think they're really good, to be honest. I've had a few clients use these. They sound amazing. There's even a number here if you guys want to call it just to test and see like what it sounds like. But you can actually have a really good conversation with them. And you guys have to remember that we're very much aware of the whole marketing, sales, AI space. Okay, this is what we do all day. So for us, we can easily pick up on the small details and right away be able to tell if it's AI or if it's an actual person. But you have to view it from the perspective of your everyday person. Most people have no idea how these systems work. So if it is slightly imperfect, it should not be the end of the world. Maybe we'll lose, it won't be as efficient as a real person, but the overall benefits of not having to hire people, manage them, make sure they're good, hire multiple people for different time zones outweighs the little percentage of people that were going to be uninterested because they recognize that it's not a real person speaking. Okay, so this is really solid, and this is what I would use to create my AI dialer to call the leads. Okay, so build AI dialer. I'm going to call it AI agent instead. Sounds better. Now, this is the issue, okay? I don't know how to build one. I know the basics. I understand you have to do prompts and all of these things, but am I going to spend months and months trying to become good at this and figure out the small details on how to build an agent when at the end of the day, my objective is to just scale a business and offer to 100K a month. Okay, by me knowing how to build agents, it's not really going to help me. All right, so am I going to take the time to do it? Am I going to learn the basics if I have some free time? Yeah, for sure, 100%. But I'm not going to be the one in the trenches to do this. So what I'm going to do here is I would simply go on Upwork and make a job posting. Okay, job posting, and search for someone who has experience building AI agents. Okay, and here I'm going to break down how much I would pay them. So I would pay them about, let's say 5, depending on the ticket price, 5 to 10% of my initial close. Okay, so if I close a deal for 5K, I would pay them 10%, which is $500. If I close a deal for 10K, then probably between 500 and 1K, I'd pay them for the agent. Okay, they'll build everything out specifically for the client. In order to do this, we would have to, is there any way I can add the square in the middle? Oh, I can actually remove this, I don't need it. So create onboarding form. Okay. Perfect. Wait. Cool. So to build the AI agent, all I would need is a onboarding form that can collect all of the information from my client's business so that we can create this AI agent. Guess what this onboarding form is going to look like? It's going to be our one-pager. Because again, the one-pager is probably the best thing that you can have for any business, for any offer that you do. What is their target market? So what is the type of jobs that they want to do? We only want to work with homes that have, let's say, 20-year-old windows for jobs that need at least 6 windows to be replaced in this specific location. So again, we build everything specifically to their needs through this one pager, detailed as possible. So I would make a video breaking down how to complete this for our clients and ask them to take like 30 minutes to really take this one document seriously, because it's going to be sort of the foundation for everything else that we build in our company. Their ads for them, as well as the agents, whether it's the SMS or the dialers. Okay, so I would have our clients fill this up. From there, use that information, hire someone from Upwork, pay them about 5 to 10% of whatever I get paid to build this agent out, and also pay them. It would for the 3-month support. So I would also need them for the 3-month support, because the agent won't be perfect from day one. So they're going to have to tweak it probably and make it a bit more perfect over time. So this would be part of the 3-month support as well. Okay, so 10% of the whole fee, I think that's very fair. Cool, so that's lead management, all right? And the ultimate objective, I can delete this. We would have also, which I forgot to write, sorry. SMS bot. Okay, and I would include this with the person. Okay, so it would be the same thing basically. So they would use the same document, just instead of a voice dialer, we would do a bot. So yeah, in this case, I would pay 10% if they do both for me. Okay, so the whole idea behind this is that we take care of the lead management for them. All right, so if you're running an agency and you don't want to do AI, you just want to do a traditional agency, take care of the lead management for them. Call the leads yourself. Okay, if you have to. Otherwise, hire someone to do it for you. Pay them on commission, let's say per lead or per booked appointment that they do, and make sure your client doesn't have to take care of this. All right, because again, these people are busy doing their jobs. Okay, they have real businesses. They actually go in person and they do things for people. Whereas with us, we need to take care of all of that so they can focus on just being physically present on their job sites and completing their jobs. All right, so if you ask them midday while they're fixing someone's windows to pick up the phone because Go High Level gave them notification of a lead, forget about it. They're not going to do it. Especially if they're spending a significant amount on ad spend. Trust me, they will not have the time to do this. Okay, so you cannot expect your client to do this. So we're going to outsource it all to AI, build bots. One that's going to be a voice bot, one that's going to be SMS. Have them create their one pager, use that to hire a developer who already has experience working with these dialers, have them use this information to build out the bot. And I would pay this person about 10% of whatever I get paid. Cool. So that's lead management. Let's put that in green and say it's outsourced. And then the last thing we'll worry about is the closing, which is by far the easiest. Okay, so closing, for me, maybe I'm a bit biased, but this is what I really enjoy doing. Like if I had to build a department myself, I would solely focus on closing and I would outsource everything else. Okay, so I really don't mind helping my clients with their closing because I do feel like that's where my skill set is at. So here, what I would do to help my clients close, how would I do that exactly? So in the future, I will have scripts and things that I can leverage for my clients based off the previous clients that I work with. So that's what I do currently for my coaching offer. When someone is brand new to closing, they don't really know what to do. I will just look at my top students, look at their recordings, look at their scripts, and find what are they all doing in common that I can replicate, document, and give to everyone else so that they can use the right foundations. So when you do have like a nice database of clients, that's what you would be expected to. You would already have the scripts and all these things done. But again, we're starting from scratch, so I understand. So what I would do is have the clients send call recordings. Now, obviously, they're not closing over Zoom. Okay, so it won't be Zoom calls. It's most likely in person. So I would ask them to just literally use their phone, use the voice note app, and record some of their in-person conversations. I would ask them to send me 5, at least. Send 5 call recordings. From there, I would transcribe the whole thing. So there are tools out there where you can just upload a video or your audio note and it's going to transcribe the entire thing for you. Send to chat GPT. And then from there, create a prompt to optimize plus refine sales process. Okay. And that's what I would do. All right. So this one's probably the easiest. The whole idea behind working with experienced business owners in general is that you don't really have to worry about closing. They should be able to close. If they're consistently making 20K a month with their business, 20, 30, 40, 50K, they obviously have some experience when it comes to closing. Maybe they're only used to closing referrals and word of mouth and stuff like that, which granted is a lot easier, but still they understand the basics. Maybe they'll have to switch their approach a bit more, but that's why we can just review some of their calls, give them some feedback, and make sure, this I'm going to add it, monitor. Okay, this is going to be a big one. Okay, this is something else I see many people ignoring. If I'm crushing it when it comes to the ads and lead management and I'm booking them left and right calls, and I don't really follow up with my client and I don't like see if he's closing those leads or not, this is a big mistake because maybe we're booking leads for them, but for whatever reason, they're unqualified. They're not the type of jobs that he wants. So although we booked him, let's say 30 appointments in a month, if he didn't close a single one, you at the end of the month will look like an idiot because he will tell you, well, yeah, you got me appointments, but I didn't close any of them. They're all like bad leads. And you, on the other hand, because you didn't ask him, you're assuming everything is going smoothly because you're booking him meetings left and right. Okay, so very important to find a way to monitor his performance. So maybe ask him to fill out like an Excel sheet that can give us the results of these calls or these appointments. So we can know if these appointments are converting or not. And if we see they're not converting, we'll ask him, what's happening? Why are you not closing these deals? And if he blames it on himself, he's like, yeah, I'm really struggling closing these deals. From there, we focus on closing. If it's the lead quality, then we focus on lead generation and qualifying the leads better with our tools. Okay. So yeah, that's going to be basically it. So again, I'll just break down the price in terms of how we're going to charge for all of this. So assuming we charge, I think I put 5K for the last video. Assuming we charge 5K, This person over the course of 3 months, because again, it's 3 months support, then it's going to be $1,500 per month. Over 3 months, we will have to pay the white label agency $1,500. Okay, so that's the price to pay for peace of mind and not having to worry about running the ads and onboarding the client, hiring the media buyers and all these things. This person right here will get 10%. The person who's going to be in charge of creating the lead management bots. So in this case, they will get paid $500. And here, it doesn't really, you would need like a client success manager, I guess, technically. I would probably do this by myself just at the beginning because it's not going to be super time consuming. So for now, we'll put $0 because this can be done yourself. But in the future, you would have a client success manager, so a CSM. And probably the CSM can take care of this as well as the client communication, make sure everyone's happy. So in total, with our low ticket price, so I remember saying that we would test higher prices. I would probably test it upwards of like 10, 12, 15K. But let's just keep it for this. So this would leave us with 5K minus 1,500 minus $500, which would leave us with 3K profit. Okay, not too bad. If we test higher prices, the only thing that would change technically is this right here. I guess if we pay them 1,000. So if we were to charge 10K, by the way, guys, if you close someone for 5K, 10K, whatever, and they cannot pay 5K up front, but they're like, hey, I'll do 2.5 over 2 months or something like that, like say yes, okay? Don't say no to money. If you, like these people, yes, it's 1,500, but you pay them $500 a month. So obviously if the person pays you 500 up front, that's not very good. But even if they pay you, let's say 2K over 3 months, you add a little interest on there, still take that deal, pay these people $500 a month, this person 10% of whatever you collected. So if I collected 2K, I would pay him $200 the first month, $200 the next month, and $200 the other month. If for whatever reason the client leaves in the middle and he's like, hey, I don't have enough money to pay, then obviously I don't have to pay these people for the third month, and I would not pay this person for the third month as well because the project stopped early. So if we close the deal for 10K, we would be left with 10 here, and then here would be 1,000, which would leave us with 7,500. That's a lot better. Okay, so as you can see, we could, when we spend money on ads to get our clients, I know that if I spend more than 3K to get my client, I will not make a profit working with those people. All right, so if it costs me, let's say 1K to get a client, I'm making 2K profit, which is why I think 5K is a bit low for what we do. All right, but if we charge 10K, I have 7,500 profit. So even if it costs me, let's say it costs me 3K, I'm still left with $4,500 profit. And this is me outsourcing everything. I'm basically not involved in this business. I have someone taking care of the lead gen. I have someone doing the lead management for us while building the system. And then the closing, I'll take care of it, which isn't super time consuming because most of the time these people will be semi-decent at closing. You give them a new script, you build it out after getting those 5 call recordings. And from there, it's pretty much done when it comes to closing. They should be good to go with that script. Okay. So yeah, that's going to be the service delivery. Closing, I'll put it like red just to say like it's not outsourced. Like this is still something we'll have to take care of. But yeah, trying to think if I forgot about something, but no, I think that's pretty much it. I think that summarizes like the service delivery. Again, this part is really optional. Like you don't really have to do this. I do think the one pager is like you should really do it because it will like help you tremendously with everything else. This isn't as necessary, but at least for me, it helps me just map out all my ideas and give me like a general idea of like what's going to happen, who's going to do what, how much money I'm going to be left over, how much can I spend to acquire a client, and yeah, just overall have like a better understanding of what we're going to be doing. Cool. So I think that's it. So again, just to recap, this is extremely important, okay? Any offer that you do, whether it's coaching, agency, no matter the type of agency you offer, the type of service that you offer in your agency, always, always, always frame your client in his initial position and then ask yourself, what is his dream outcome? His dream outcome is not to have Facebook ads for his business. His dream outcome is to make 80K a month or whatever number he wants to make. All right, so by just offering lead generation and running ads for them, yes, you're getting them closer to their end goal, but you're not filling the gap. You're not getting them to their end destination. So you get them leads. What happens with the leads? You work the leads to book them into appointments. What do you do with appointments? You close them into paying customers. And when you close, you collect paychecks. And that's what's going to move the needle towards their objective. So again, any offer that you do, any offer, whether it's social media management, you work with creators to help build their personal brand. I have people reaching out to me saying like, hey, I can edit your thumbnails. Cool. What if I never post videos? Like, how is your service is not really going to help me? So if I am trying to grow my personal brand, or if someone comes to me selling thumbnails, what should they sell instead? It's like, hey, I'll get you to a point where you're going to be adding 1,000 subscribers to your YouTube channel every single month. So I'll build you the whole framework, give you the whole game plan on what videos to record. I have someone to make your thumbnails. I have someone to edit the videos. I have someone that's going to post them on your behalf on all those social media platforms. And we even have someone that's going to cut the shorts into small videos and distribute them in all platforms. That's a lot more of a better offer to offer because it's actually going to bring me to my end goal by completing all of the things that need to be done. Okay, so very important. In this case, I think we broke everything down. I think it makes sense. We'll take care of lead generation, outsource everything, lead manage and hire a developer on Upwork, or if we know someone on Facebook groups, and then closing, just help them finalize and refine their sales script. Okay, so cool. I think that completes step 2. Next day, tomorrow we're going to create the sales calendar as well as the form. So this is not as important. It's a small detail. I think it's still worth making a video on it because especially the form, it's very important to know what to ask and what not to ask, in what order. And also I'm going to show you guys a trick to capture more emails as well as name, phone numbers, and all this information. So you can retarget those people with the 7-day nurturing email sequence that we're going to build afterwards. Okay, so cool. Thank you for watching. As usual, if you have any questions, please leave a comment on this video. Otherwise, let's keep crushing and we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.